Dave Anthony, Fox News, is on the U.S. operation in Venezuela that captured leader Nicolas Maduro, who's now charged with narco-terrorism in the U.S. The Senate gets the first briefing in 2 hours. Then right after, the full House. Republicans support the mission, Congressman William Timmons tells Fox.
I think we're going to see a new day in Venezuela, and I'm optimistic that it's going to be a good outcome.
Sources tell Fox News the briefers will include Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Secretary of War Pete Hegseth, and Attorney General Pam Bondi. President Trump says one of the reasons Congress wasn't notified about the operation was because of concerns of possible leaks.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz. President Trump will meet with oil executives Friday after posting on Truth Social that Venezuela will send to the U.S. 30 to 50 million barrels of high-quality oil that will be sold at market price. Leading up to the raid Saturday, the U.S. had seized oil tankers off the Venezuelan coast carrying sanctioned oil, and it's been pursuing another that Russia now wants.
According to the Wall Street Journal and others, the Bella 1 oil tanker has painted a Russian flag on its hull, changed its name, and reflagged to Russia in an attempt to evade the U.S. Coast Guard. Russia has now reportedly sent its navy to escort the vessel. It's now northwest of the British Isles.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. Fox has learned U.S. forces are now trying to board an oil tanker in the North Atlantic. Now an update on an immigration crackdown in the Minneapolis area where more than 1,000 people have been arrested since early last month. Acting ICE Director Todd Lyons tells Fox this morning.
Not only is it the largest immigration enforcement action ever, but in ICE's history, but it's also the largest criminal enforcement action we've ever taken.
This as the federal investigation continues in Minnesota into multi-billion-dollar fraud allegations. The day after saying Governor Tim Walz ended a re-election bid, the Democrat said this.
You can make all your requests for me to resign over my dead body. Will that happen? I will fight this thing till the very end to make this state better.
America's listening to Fox News.
Welcome to the most wonderful time of the year, when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, scream in terror, and start looking for new ways to save money. If that's you, why not cut your wireless bill in half with a saver plan from Pure Talk? You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast 5G network for just $20 a month. Ho, ho, ho. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will help you switch in minutes. Again, talk, text, and data for just $20 a month.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
President Trump keeps talking about taking control of Greenland for national security reasons, though the island is a territory of a NATO ally, Denmark, which is urging the U.S. to stop the threats. And European leaders are backing Denmark, but Secretary of State Marco Rubio tells lawmakers the U.S. could acquire Greenland instead of taking it by force. Now to something the U.S. and our allies agree on. Securing Ukraine when and if there's a peace deal to stop Russia's war.
Following the latest round of talks in Paris, U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff says partners are largely finished on an agreement for security protocols for Ukraine.
Which are important so that the people of Ukraine know that when this ends, it ends forever.
Under the framework, British and French troops could operate in Ukraine, with the U.S. leading a monitoring and verification of any ceasefire. Witkoff says negotiators are also closing in on a prosperity agreement to restart Ukraine's post-war economy. At the White House, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
An infamous American traitor in the Soviet Cold War era has died.
Aldrich Ames, the career CIA operative who provided the Russians with U.S. secrets from 1985 to 1994, died in a Maryland prison Monday. He was 84. Ames switched sides during the Cold War in exchange for $2.5 million, which he said he needed to pay debts. He outed Russians spying for the U.S. and Great Britain, and his betrayal led to the execution of Western agents working behind the then Iron Curtain. He withheld information from U.S. officials while providing valuable information to the Russians. He pleaded guilty to espionage and tax evasion and was sentenced to life in prison. Kevin Uretsky, Fox News.
Michael Reagan has also died, the oldest son of the former president, who was an outspoken conservative with a nationally syndicated radio talk show. Michael Reagan was 80. On Wall Street, stock futures are mixed the morning after another Dow record high. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news Community members across Champaign-Urbana kicked off the new year by distributing food, clothing, and supplies to neighbors in need. One organizer said she relied on the same support, now gives back in honor of her late father's lessons on generosity. Volunteers say demand for assistance has risen this winter, and more community-run events planned throughout January. Champaign area libraries are increasing staff training and public access to Narcan, responding to a rise in statewide overdose emergencies. Initiative includes new signage, staff workshops, and community education sessions designed to make public spaces safer and more prepared for opioid-related incidents. The move aligns with a broader countywide harm reduction strategy. Urbana police still searching for the suspect who shot a Circle K clerk on Christmas Eve. The suspect wore all black, sunglasses, and a face covering before fleeing in a stolen car. Later recovered by police, the clerk remains in stable condition. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm John Miller.
And I'm Diane Ducey. It's good to be back here in 2026. Jim Goss has joined me in studio. How are you this morning?
I am fired up already.
Oh, boy. And Stevie J on a cruise ship right now is planning on joining the show, too. Greg Soulier is our meteorologist, and I think he's coming on, too. How are you, Greg?
Good, Diane. Happy New Year to one and all out there.
Yes, we've got nice mild conditions here. The sun's coming up at 7:14. You know, Jim has farming in his background, and we were just talking about this crazy spring-like weather that we're having.
Yeah, boy, but a few weeks ago we were dealing, before we took the holiday break, dealing with an early and often arriving wintertime around here. We've kind of crescendoed into almost a March feel out there, but this too shall pass. We've got probably about a week to 10 days, 12 days out before we get something a little more realistic, longer term, as in temperatures around here, and we'll begin to slingshot some weather systems around here, a little more wintry nature over the second half of January to February. So enjoy the lull in wintertime while you may out there.
That's right. Our forecast is brought to you by Carl. Life is unexpected, and when it comes to your health, Carl will be there to help you through it all. From everything from convenient care to advanced diagnostics, you can count on Carl for whatever comes your way. Learn more at carl.org. So what are we looking at?
Well, it's amazing. We can talk about drought relief. There's not a lot of frost or freeze in the ground. We've got a significant rain system coming our way that builds in here for the day tomorrow, particularly tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow night. And ahead of it, maybe some record or near record setting warmth around these parts before we start the transition briefly into a little cool snap or colder snap over the weekend, a little uptick early next week. And then we get that pattern shift going that's more or less a little more typical mid-January look and feel around here. But not this morning. These readings are already kind of what you expect for a January 7th in the afternoon, down from yesterday's 40s and 50s to 35 down at Willard and Savoy, 34 at Rantoul, 38 at Danville, and over at Bloomington Normal 32, where we have some pockets where skies have cleared, the winds have dropped back a little bit, some fog and haze areas, and they've actually dropped to 29 with some freezing fog down around the Effingham area. So keep an eye on the decks and overpasses. But otherwise, clouds this morning, beginning actually to break midday with the overcast skies and a partly cloudy afternoon. So we'll get some January sun in here. And boy, these temperatures will take off. 52 is almost approaching 20 above average as winds come back around into the south and southeast. Clouds roll back in tonight. Some areas of fog and drizzle after midnight, low down to about 40. Tomorrow, breezy and seasonally mild weather. Patchy fog in the morning, maybe a little rain and drizzle. Then some steady rains get going tomorrow afternoon. Shower activity tomorrow night, maybe even a rumble of thunder. Temps tomorrow about 58. Can't rule out a 60 south of Champaign. The record high for tomorrow is 62 on a gusty south wind. Then windy, mild tomorrow night in the 50s with showers, maybe a thunderstorm early and more rain after midnight. Then a partly sunny, turning cooler day on Friday. We'll start in the 50s in the morning, fall to the 40s in the afternoon on a west wind and maybe a stray shower early and late. There may be a hint of wintertime Saturday. A couple of sprinkles of snowflakes early and late, partly sunny skies, temperatures in the lower 40s and dropping. Sunday up to 31, but briefly back into the 40s Monday and Tuesday next week before colder days arrive the second half of next week. Boys DVD Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soulier.
Thanks, Greg. All right, well, here we are up and running in 2026. I'm thinking Stevie J is going to check in. But until then, Jim Goss, how you been?
It's been busy. People don't understand this. This 60 days around the end of the year are my busiest times a year. And so it's just head down. You're working every day. You're trying to get everything cleaned up from the old year. You're starting to start the new year. Client budgets, client cash flows, and tax information. All that stuff has to be done, by
in the first quarter.
Well, it has to be done by about the first week of February because you want to give it to their tax preparers so that everybody's got the ability to get their taxes done on time.
Yes.
So yeah, this is always, if you don't have the juice to do this kind of stuff, my job is not for you at this time of year.
So you're hitting the ground running. Well, it's been a great 2026 for me. Of course, I have a grandson now, and it's only been, 3 or 4 weeks, and little Hudson is growing strong, and Anna and Seth are adjusting to parenthood. It sounds like Stevie J on the boat right now, right, Stevie?
I am indeed. Jimmy, how are you, man?
I'm wonderful, Stevie. I hope you're having a great time.
It's really nice to get a blow of wonderful weather. And I know Champagne's going to be 60 the next few days, 55, 60, I think, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, it's got some rain coming on. We need it bad.
Well, we got a bunch of that, it looks like, up there. But I tell you what, every day in January it's minus 20. I'm happy, man.
Exactly.
That's what I'm... So we're in Barbados. It's the most eastern Caribbean island in the Lesser Antilles. I'm 500 miles from Venezuela. That's as close as I'm going to get. That's for sure.
Right.
But we're if you look on the map, we're way out here, and temperature is going to be 83, UV index at about 8, and it's just beautiful, and it's just nice respite here with the family. We do have our little granddaughter who's turning 1 in 7 days. And she's just enjoying. She crawled into the Atlantic for the first time, on the sand for the first time, things like that I'm documenting with pictures and stuff that they'll enjoy later in life. But here we are in Barbados, man. I guess it was the Portuguese in the 1400s that kind of found this. And some of the Indians did not like it, and they left and called it Los Barbados in honor of the bearded fig trees. I mean, it feels like full summer down here based on our relative experience with weather, but it's really nice, and cruises are so fun, and we've been on many of them, blessed to see a lot of the world via cruise ship. And the one thing, Diane and Jimmy, is that you can come to a place, and if you don't like it, wait 7 hours and you're leaving. So
pretty much
it's just enjoyable to get a look. Yesterday in Antigua, the day before in Tortola, we took a ferry and went to Virgin Gorda, and enjoyed snorkeling, and the water was crystal clear with bright sun. Just really pretty. Today we're going to a beach where we have beach chairs and umbrellas, and then we kind of did the research, and we know off to the left, way out, maybe a couple of 100 yards off the rocks, are sea turtles. So we're going to go see those on our own. A lot of times you can take excursions, but we have 9 of us. And you take 175 times 9. You're saying, wait a minute, we can do that for a little bit less.
Right.
The math gets away from you.
We can also lay on the beach and visit and have fun.
Yeah, we can, but we also not afraid to find big old vans that take us. And yesterday we drove out to a little known beach. There's in Antigua. There's a bunch of beaches close to the dock. Well, guess what? There were 3 major cruise ships in here, so there's 10,000 people looking for close beaches. So we went a half hour off the beaten track, and there was about 20 people on the beach, and it was awesome. It was just awesome.
That's awesome.
And so we're enjoying it very much. But certainly world events, I think Brother Johnny's available bottom of the hour. Be interested to see what he thinks. I just have to put a text in, but in any event, I don't know, Jimmy, you and I are probably on the same page on a lot of things in our political life, but if Joe Biden had a $25 million bounty on Maduro, why are the Democrats so upset? That would be my question. Well, he got rid of a real bad guy.
Because everybody's got TDS on the left, and they just can't wrap their head around it. What would they do if we just gave the $25 million right to Donald Trump? You want to make heads blow up there?
Yeah,
he wouldn't take
really
it.
It would be actually fun to see the X posts after that one.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, I do think that if Donald Trump said we have done this and that and this and that, and we now have a cure for cancer, there would be 25% of the people that would have some reason to hate that.
Well, and we were talking off the mic, Stevie, and Jim and I were discussing Maduro and getting rid of him years ago. People have been wanting this, and now it happened, and because Trump did it, everybody's upset.
No, they just have to find a reason to yell impeachment because that's kind of their favorite word. So I mean, at this point, again, it's really early to know exactly what they're doing. The fact that they are putting in a Maduro loyalist in the last day, saying, well, why would you put part of the Maduro chain of command?
Uh-oh. Stevie, we have a little technical issue and you blipped out. But can you finish his thought there, Jimmy?
Well, I didn't hear that they put.
Can be a tremendously chaotic situation. So I think, they're worried about the thing being fallen into total chaos and us not sending 10,000 soldiers or something. I don't know what the heck it's going to be stable about.
Yeah, he's on that ship.
So
That's right.
It's just that the woman that supposedly won that election, they're not going to accept her right now. There'll be plenty of resistance against her. And the people, 70% of Venezuelans apparently are just jumping for joy. People in America that are Venezuelan are excited to go back home. But this stuff is tricky when you got a lot of people out there with guns that may or may not be on your side.
Yeah, intensely difficult to figure out these regime change sorts of things because obviously the Venezuelan population is really, really happy both in the U.S. and in Venezuela because they've been under these two back-to-back regimes that have just torn that country apart. And so, but it's not as easy as just getting rid of one person. Mm-hmm. They've got 100 generals, I think, if I remember the stat right, that are willing to step in and be the next Maduro. So, I mean, you're gonna have some unrest there. I don't think it's perfect, but guess what? It's rarely perfect.
That's right.
Yeah, and I'm wondering what you do if you do need some of our troops to have boots on the ground, how that would work to get control of what could be a really, really nasty situation. And so we're going to try Maduro and his wife on drug and terror charges, but that's a trial in the United States. And was it Julian Assange had this lawyer, and that's who's representing Maduro. So they'll get the representation, and we'll go through all of that. But what I want to know is, in 1 year from now, with the border so closed and blowing up drug boats in the Caribbean and getting rid of Maduro, what will change with the drug numbers of deaths in America? Because we'll know something in 12 months, won't we, Jimmy?
I would think so. I would think you would have a better handle on it. I don't know that we ever have a great number of it. I just think stats can be twisted whichever way they want to.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to know something, and certainly they're not likely to get worse. And that's
right.
I mean, we were headed down a path that was going to be significantly worse.
Well, this has been a great chat. I know Stevie, your brother Johnny, has said he's able to get on. I was able to text him,
great.
and so that's coming up inside the next 10 or 15 minutes. Of course, we have our Fox Business Minute, and it's brought to you by Busey. So stay tuned. This is always great to get back here in 2026 here on ESPN 93.5. We've got Greg's forecast now.
So good, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, Vicinity. Nice to be back on duty. A happy new year to one and all, and nice to enjoy this weather pattern. You betcha, up to 52 today. Those temperatures better than 15, almost 20 above average with a partly sunny afternoon. Still a bit of cloud and fog activity and a bit of mist and drizzle around for this morning. Light south wind sets in for the afternoon. Clouds roll back in tonight along with patchy fog and drizzle. Late lows near 40. Tomorrow, breezy and seasonally mild. Cloudy skies, patchy fog, little rain and drizzle in the morning. Rain overspreads the area tomorrow afternoon. The high about 58, even 60 south of Champaign. That'll be record flirting territory. Windy, mild tomorrow night. Spells of shower activity, even an evening thunderstorm. Gusty south wind and a low down to about 52. Those winds will swing around into the west for the day on Friday, turning much cooler. 54 in the morning and dropping. Partly sunny skies. Maybe a shower early and late. Maybe a couple of showers of rain and wet snow Saturday. Temps in the 30s there. Partly sunny, breezy, colder weather on Sunday. Highs up to about 31. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Soldier.
This is the Our Idea is Ready to Launch vision. This is the Create Great Jobs vision. This is the We Need More Space vision. This is Busey, where your business visions become realizations. Through securing capital for growth and comprehensive strategies that ensure a prosperous future. Because thriving businesses mean thriving people and thriving communities. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Tyler Weaver.
I'm Charles Payne, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The U.S. is deepening its control over Venezuela's oil industry. President Trump says Venezuela will give the U.S. 30 to 50 million barrels of sanctioned oil. The president is expected to meet with oil company executives on Friday. Crude oil prices are lower. Berkshire Hathaway's new CEO, Greg Abel, will be paid $25 million a year. His predecessor, Warren Buffett, took an annual salary of $100,000 for 40 years, though he had other forms of compensation as well. Abel took over January 1st after Buffett retired at age 95. The largest U.S. banks are expected to report a jump in profits for the recent quarter. Analysts at Argus Research say that's because investment banking has stepped up. Both the Dow and the S&P closed at records on Tuesday. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola. Invested in you.
Every hour of every day, Fox News Radio is there with the latest breaking news and information you rely on.
This is a Fox News Alert.
I'm Lisa Brady.
I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. With Fox News correspondents around the globe.
At the White House, Simon Owen in London.
On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News. The news that matters most to you. The top headlines, all in one place. Listen and follow the Fox News Hourly Update at foxnewspodcasts.com or ask your smart speaker to play Fox News.
Jets Pizza and Stevie J Broadcasting want to send you to the next Fighting Illini home basketball game. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 and you could be on your way to State Farm Center. Stop by Jets Pizza at Neal and Green Street or Round Barn off Springfield and Mattis for their delicious Detroit-style pizza. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 to win tickets from Jets Pizza and Stevie J Broadcasting. Parlor Donuts and Stevie J Broadcasting want to send you to the next Fighting Illini home basketball game. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 and you could be on your way to State Farm Center. Stop by Parlor Donuts in the old farm shops on Kirby and Madison Champaign before the game to try their layered donuts, cold brews, blended treats, and more. Text Illini to 217-359-2255 to win tickets with Parlor Donuts and Stevie J Broadcasting.
You have money laying all around your house. You just don't know it. And no, I don't mean selling your great-grandma's good china. I mean all the old metal items you don't want to use or get rid of. Don't pay someone to haul it away. Bring it into Max Twin City Recycling and get paid to have it taken off your hands. They love new customers and are more than willing to walk you through their process step by step. Come check them out at 2808 North Lincoln Avenue in Urbana.
Starting it over is what we do at Max Twin City Recycling.
Well, welcome to 2026. First show back for me, Diane Ducey. Jim Goss joining me in studio. Doing well this morning, huh, Jim?
Doing great.
All right. We have Brother Johnny going to be joining us inside the next 10 minutes here on ESPN 93.5. Hear the show anytime at StevieJay.com. And you can tap into the podcast or StevieJay FM for the live view of our studio to watch the show in action on X. Stevie is taking vacation, and it's about time, Stevie. Man, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a little while since I'd had any true days off, and it does feel good. I'm kind of recharging the batteries, but I'm telling you, I can't not know what's going on. Jimmy, can you take a vacation and not know what's going on?
No, it's not possible.
Yeah.
Especially with our phones with us everywhere. Well, one of the headlines we're seeing everywhere, 18 seasons in Baltimore, now John Harbaugh is out.
It's a big deal.
Yeah, well, it's like, okay, it's just one of those, guess I've been here long enough, won a Super Bowl, whatever. I would have been in the playoffs had the kid not missed a field goal. Okay, whatever. If you're tired of me, he'll get hired first out, Jimmy. He'll be the first guy that's going to be grabbed by one of the openings because there's a lot of openings, but John Harbaugh won't be unemployed very long.
Yes.
And it's not, at this point, for those guys, not about money. They're doing fine. But I just thought he was pretty solid, and Lamar Jackson was hurt a lot. They had other injuries. I was surprised by John Harbaugh getting fired. I really was. Everybody else, not so much. But it's, and at some point, Pete Carroll, 74, hey, great career, but man, it's just like radio. It's just, if I don't sound good on the radio, I got to quit.
Yeah.
It's just you can't be quarterback or coach and not be good. And somebody's got to tap you on the shoulder and said, "You've done great. What do you think we go out for dinner and have a little talk?"
Well, and Stevie, this morning the speculation was that John Harbaugh's agent had been contacted by every franchise that had an opening, and at least one more that didn't have an opening. So go speculate on that. Who really wants to get rid of their coach and put John Harbaugh in? He's got a 60% winning rate over 18 seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, you may not like his offense, but whatever. I mean, get over it.
Well, his offense seems to be better when he has Lamar Jackson in there. It's like,
that's true.
Okay, you're not very good. Your offensive, well, Lamar's hurt. You guys aren't very good. Okay, great. Then he comes back, and you're pretty good. It's like when I coached 6th grade basketball at the Park District, we had 2 5'11" kids who were on travel teams, so when they came to the gym, we were pretty good, and I was a great coach.
Yeah. Good players always make that.
Players kind of make the difference. So we got the Fighting Illini playing Rutgers tomorrow night.
Yes,
we're
we
going to be
do.
favored in that one. How about that Michigan score? They beat Penn State by 2.
Yes, 74-72 for number 2, Michigan.
And Iowa loses to Minnesota, which isn't going to be very good for us this weekend because now Iowa's going to be all focused and all that. I always like to see that team playing well. Anyway, Fighting Illini are good. We're really, really good. And Jim, we're going to be favored in a whole lot of basketball games this year moving forward.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're a top 4. I don't know that we. Know that we sneak into top 2. Honestly, I just don't think we've got the horsepower to run with Michigan. I'm a little worried, as always, about Michigan State. But we could be number 3, and that's going to be good. I mean, obviously, Brad lining up the preseason schedule that he did. It's the Tom Izzo school of scheduling, and you're not likely to be undefeated. Heck, look at Nebraska has not lost yet. And so I mean, it's they're setting historic things. I'll be in Iowa this weekend, and so I just changed. I forgot about us playing Iowa. I guess I've got to pack some orange to take to Iowa.
Yes, please, Jimmy.
That's right.
All right, well, we've got tickets, of course, to the Rutgers game at 7:30 tomorrow night. Is that tomorrow? Is today Wednesday? I keep going.
Today is Wednesday.
Okay, January 7th. And, if you want to go to the game, text in Illini, 217-359-2255. Brought to you by Parlor Donuts, Old Farm Shops. Boy, are those good. I had a church meeting over there with some ladies organizing a bingo for February 7th, and we kind of got distracted with all the layered donuts.
They're unbelievable.
And then, of course, Jet's Pizza with 2 locations.
It's not really a donut. It's a meal. It's an experience. It's something else. Well, we're here in Barbados, by the way. It's 9:30 out here, about 9:30. I know we're 2 hours ahead of you. We've had those hour changes and all those things within the ship. I'm watching now as people are getting off on this beautiful island called Barbados. And we're kind of waiting on Josie to wake up from a little nap, and then we're headed out. But we'll have time to be with Johnny for just a bit and talk more with Jim. Jim, are you hanging around a little while?
Yeah, I'm going to stay till 8, our time.
Awesome.
10 your time.
You're the man. Jim Goss, who I think at 8:15 has a major announcement running for governor of the state of Illinois.
Well, I'm thinking about moving to Minnesota. Because I hear there's going to be an opening.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Governor Amy Klobuchar. That's what you're going to get.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, it's great to discuss
in any event,
topics of the day. And, we'll get back with all this. And we're glad to have you on, Stevie. I'm glad you're enjoying your vacation.
Thank you.
ESPN 93.5.
It's great when hard work and experience are recognized. Hi, this is Ryan Heiser, President and CEO of Fisher National Bank. I am thrilled to share that Fisher National has been ranked 7th in the nation as a top lender in mortgage loans among banks with asset size of $300 million to $1 billion by our National Banking Association. This recognition is a testament to our lending team's dedication and expertise. After all, better banking experiences start with local people and local decision making. If you're in the market for a new home or considering refinancing your existing home, let our team at Fisher National Bank earn your business and trust. We offer competitive rates with low closing costs, and we locally service almost all of our loans. Come see us with all your home mortgage needs and experience the top-notch service that has earned us national recognition. Learn more at fishernational.com or stop by one of our branches today.
Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Wouldn't it be nice to visit a car dealership where you didn't feel like you were at an auction? Or didn't feel like you were being taken to the cleaners?
I'm going to make him an offer he can't refuse.
Welcome to Sarah Champagne. At Sarah, they offer a one-price promise. Every vehicle at a fair price, no negotiation, only the best price. Sarah Champagne, Honda, BMW, GMC, Buick, and Subaru. SERRA Champagne.com.
Fox News, I'm CJ Papa. U.S. forces are moving to seize an oil tanker that fled a blockade near Venezuela, that from U.S. officials. It's been 1 year since the horrific wildfires that raged out of control across Los Angeles.
Fire breaks out in the Pacific Palisades. Hours later, another ignites in Altadena under a transmission tower. 31 killed, 12,000 homes destroyed.
Fox's William LaJeunesse in Pacific Palisades. Residents are planning to protest today as many are struggling to find answers from officials and deal with the red tape in the rebuilding process.
Too many families like mine are feeling like when it mattered the most, we were exposed. And then we were just left to navigate this aftermath all on our own.
Pacific Palisades resident Rachel Darvish on Fox and Friends First, and Warner Brothers rejects the takeover from Paramount, telling shareholders to stick with the Netflix bid valued at $72 billion. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Urbana police still searching for the suspect who shot a Circle K clerk Christmas Eve. Suspect wore all black, sunglasses, and a face covering before fleeing in a stolen car, later recovered by police. The clerk remains in stable condition. Investigators urging residents with information to contact them. Urbana city officials continuing their search for a permanent fire chief after appointing an interim leader in December. According to the Daily Illini, the city is prioritizing candidates with strong community engagement backgrounds and experience managing modern fire response challenges. Transition follows recent retirements and departmental restructuring. Registration's now open for the 2026 Pie Mile Run, returning to the University of Illinois campus to raise funds for the Eastern Illinois Food Bank. The event welcomes families across central Illinois. Organizers expect strong turnout from student groups and local clubs. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
All right, we've got our forecast next from our meteorologist, Greg Solier. We're at 38 now, but wow, really mild today. More rain coming in on Thursday. Greg will give you all the details. Our forecast is brought to you by the Urbana Park District. That health and wellness center celebrated their 1-year anniversary on January 3rd. If you'd like to enjoy the walking track, basketball, volleyball, pickleball, the fitness center, you can always take a guided tour. It's only $5 a day if you want to experience it, or they have deals now at the beginning of the year for their membership. So, urbanaparks.org.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather for East Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, vicinity. Nice to be back on duty. A happy new year to one and all, and nice to enjoy this weather pattern. You betcha, up to 52 today. Those temperatures better than 15, almost 20 above average, with a partly sunny afternoon. Still a bit of cloud and fog activity and a bit of mist and drizzle around for this morning. Light south wind sets in for the afternoon. Clouds roll back in tonight, along with patchy fog and drizzle. Late lows near 40. Tomorrow, breezy and seasonally mild. Cloudy skies, some patchy fog, little rain and drizzle in the morning. Rain overspreads the area tomorrow afternoon. The high about 58, even 60 south of Champaign. That'll be record flirting territory. Windy, mild tomorrow night. Spells of shower activity, even an evening thunderstorm. Gusty south wind and a low down to about 52. Those winds will swing around into the west for the day on Friday, turning much cooler. 54 in the morning and dropping. Partly sunny skies. Maybe a shower early and late. Maybe a couple of showers of rain and wet snow Saturday. Temps in the 30s there. Partly sunny, breezy, colder weather on Sunday. Highs up to about 31. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
All right, let me see which one is Brother Johnny. Is that you, John?
I think it's me, Diane. Good morning and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Just making sure on my slide potentiometers here on the boards. And Stevie, you usually handle all of this. And Stevie's in Barbados. Is that what we're hearing?
We are indeed in Barbados, Johnny. It's the further eastern Caribbean in the Lower Antilles, and we're 500 miles from Venezuela. We got Jimmy Goss in the studio as well. Always a pleasure to have the farm guy at Atkins and also former county board, somehow enduring the county board for a number of years. And I'm trying to get him to run for the governor of the state of Illinois. We have to raise about $200 million. That's no problem. In any event, Johnny, I'm glad you jumped on, and Jimmy, I'm glad you're with us with Diane Ducey. I'm Stevie J, live in Barbados. It's a beautiful day here, 2 hours ahead of all of you. Johnny, I guess we really want to ask you what your thoughts are on what happened in Venezuela and the takedown of Maduro and his wife.
Well, it was just everybody's still assimilating, and it was just pulling it off. Jim, just pulling that off was staggering that they could get away with really pretty quick operation that went exactly like they wanted. But and what do we do now? Well, I think we'll see. I think the goal, which is to really get them off the socialist train, is the overriding goal where we can have an ally instead of an adversary there. And then you got the oil and everything else. I was there, Jim and Diane, I was in Venezuela when Chavez first took over. And we were setting decks for Chevron in Lake Maracaibo, and they were excited about getting in with Venezuela, but they got almost no oil out of the site that Venezuela sold them. And then they took some other spots that were going pretty good and just said, the deal's off, get out, we're taking everything. And so maybe getting some of that settled too. So quite a deal, Steve.
Yeah, it's always difficult when you're dealing with dictators that in third world countries. And I don't know that really Venezuela's third world, but certainly not democracy. And the fact that we have laws that we obey, they just make it up as they go. So if it's your property and they want it, they take it through force or however they want to do it. You either walk away unscathed and just say, well, there's a loss, or you get killed. I mean, that's their alternative. It's a binary choice.
Yeah.
And to me, Johnny, your insight on the oil and gas business, how does this look now?
Well, we'll see. I mean, they've got to make sure this isn't just a blip, or they'll just lose more money. So if this got legs and this can be a stable business environment, there's more oil there than anywhere else. It's not as clean, but we can refine it. So, no, it's a little early on that, Diane, but Jim's right. The socialists, they got places, Venezuela, New York City. It's tough up there, man. They want to take the property, Jim.
Well, many Venezuela / New York City. We'll see how that turns out. It's funny because Zoran didn't get his briefing, and then it comes out 2 days later. By the way, you're a mayor. You don't get a briefing.
Right. That's funny, but. Hey, Stevie, once we get Venezuela buttoned up, Jeff Landry, that's our governor, and I might run up and get Greenland for us. So we got that coming up on
It does sound like the arrow seems to be looking that way, and the other 4 dictators down in that region that are also doing terror and drugs. It'll be interesting to see what we do with all that. But what about installing the loyalist of Maduro for the stability aspect? They thought that the woman that won the election, it'd be too much change at once, and so they put in the loyalists to Maduro.
I mean, they've got a deal to get 50 million barrels of oil to start. I don't see how that can work. You have to understand that kind of ideology, they're relentless, and they don't just walk away from that. I don't think they can give up their dream, but they'll act okay for a while. But that's the problem. And Jim, what do you think? I mean, it could go on a while and they do okay, but they're not going to change their view of how they want to run Venezuela, which has been a disaster, by the way. But yeah, I don't know. That's where the oil company is going to wait and see.
Well, I don't think we have any concept in the U.S. of what it feels like to be under that regime. And it's interesting to hear the Venezuelans that live here talk about what a disaster that is. And they've been exposed to the U.S. And, I mean, that's what they want. I don't know how you get there quickly, though. I mean, it just isn't. You get rid of one leader, and there's, as I said before, there's 100 generals waiting in line. I mean, it's not just that easy to do.
Right.
I hope and I pray that it actually gets better for them, but I don't think it's like snap your fingers and it's going to be like the U.S. tomorrow. It just isn't going to be.
I think they've got to get someone like that opposition leader who actually is the woman who won the Nobel Peace Prize when we thought Trump should have, but she was standing up to the whole regime and she got the prize. And if they did get someone like her in there, now you got something you can work with, and that could really improve fast. Look how fast things have turned around with Trump. So it's just a matter of leadership and which direction you want to go.
Well, look what happened in Argentina with Milei. I mean, it was a rough road there for a while, but I saw something a couple nights ago on X that his approval rating's up pushing 70 now. And so it takes a while. I mean, look, he's been working at it, and it was not easy. I mean, when you make changes that are that dramatic, it doesn't happen overnight, folks. It's what I said about when we elected Donald Trump. Was I going to love everything that he did? No. But the reality is the stuff he's got to do, nobody else is willing to do it. And we're going to look back like we did. You know, all of us are old enough to remember Ronald Reagan. We're going to look back at Donald Trump and hold him in that same regard someday in the future because of the things that he got done that nobody said he could do.
And Johnny, let me just interject. Let me just interject, Johnny, that if this was such a bad move according to the left and Democrats in general, then why did Joe Biden put a $25 million bounty on Maduro?
Well, they just changed their tune depending on what Trump gets up and does. And so it's getting a little tiring. And by the way, Jim, I think my feeling is Trump's approval rating is actually probably about 70%, but no one's going to admit it, and they also skew the polls because you can't really not like some of the things he's doing. You can not really like him, but that's separate from accomplishments he's making to get Americans as the priority. I think that the phrase is America first. And, boy, I haven't seen that for a while, to be honest.
Well, here's the other thing, too. I was talking to Diane about this morning. With the advent of Nick Shirley and a whistleblower in Minnesota, what does that say for investigative journalists at the mainstream media? Not a hell of a lot, to be honest with you.
They don't go anywhere. They don't do anything.
No.
And tell you what else does it say, Jim, for the potential massive types of variations of what's in Minnesota all across the country? And they're saying blue states, but there's that going on in red states. When you have those kind of massive government programs and no oversight, people are just going to take advantage of it at different levels. And that's what we've been screaming about. They call that conservatism, but it's just self-defense. Quit giving everything we got away and putting other people in charge of our lives. That's really what my politics are. So, I think we're going to find they're going to California. That should be a pretty target-rich environment.
Well, I think Columbus, Ohio's got the issue as well. I think if you went into Chicago, Illinois, good luck to somebody that tries to crack 100 years worth of corruption.
I'm going to throw in New Orleans and Houston. I mean, you can't have these kind of programs, and what percent gets to the people really that are targeted for assistance? We don't know, but it's not 100. It's probably not 50. And
no, I don't think it's. I think we'd be stunned at how wasted those dollars
that's what
are.
I think. Right.
Well, and let me just say about Nick Shirley, the independent journalist that broke open the Minneapolis, fraud case. Nick Shirley would not be allowed to do what he did working for anybody, because what the reporters are doing is telling them what the guys in the white shirts in the upper level offices are telling them to do. Nobody's interested in that story. Don't cover that. And they want to keep their job, so they're not going to go out on a limb. Nick Shirley's 23 years old, and he brought the whole Walt's administration to its knees. And that's just independent journalism. He's going to probably be approached by some outlets that are going to want a kid like that, but he doesn't want to do it. Why would he? He's got all these views, and you don't really need to do that anymore. But the fact that a 23-year-old brought light to this story that's been out there for years, he was called a racist by Tim Walz. He's called, right-winger, all these other things. You have to be pretty thick-skinned to even do the work.
150 million views and counting. Why would he ever go to the mainstream media?
Yeah.
They can't pay him enough.
Yeah,
guys, I gotta say, Diane, the next time you do think about voting for a Democrat, which at this point you can say a Democrat because they all stick together, just remember, it's not that far-fetched that Tim Walz could be president. So that's how close we came to something like that.
You're one step away.
Oh my lordy, that is a scary premise. There's no question. Now, switching to California, the wildfires. It's a couple of days ago, it was a year anniversary. They still can't get permits. They're going to be 75% of the people that were in Pacific Palisades can't even rebuild. They're still fighting with insurance. Those that are wealthy are able to endure the long delays. Donald Trump was out there and told Mayor Bass, they ought to be able to get in their homes today. She says, well, they will in a week. That's bureaucracy at its worst. It's so sad, some of those stories, Johnny, in L.A.
Well, I got to say, in response to that is how incredible Gavin Newsom is, because this guy has done absolutely nothing. It's basically goes straight back to him and his administration as governor of California. But when he's talking, Jim, it's like, oh, yeah, you're right, Gavin, that's good. He's going to take care of it. It's Trump's fault. I'm telling you, this guy's really good. And I don't know if we're smart enough to not vote for him. So we'll hope that we get by that, but that's down the road. But he's got no conscience at all, man. You talk about making it up as you go along, and it sounds great. He should get an Academy Award, I think.
Well, they said this morning, and with Carly and Todd, they had the lady that stood beside him last year and said, if you're talking to the president, I want to talk to the president. She's an attorney in L.A., and she went on about a 5-minute rant to the point of where they probably had to just say, okay, shut it off because you're killing the whole show here. But she's like, not only can we not get back in, we've not started, we can't get permits, we're not even sure if it's safe to get back in. Number one. And number two, our tax dollars went for prevention and the actual, hey, how do you save us? Where did that money go, and where's the incompetence, and who's going to pay for this? None of that's happened yet. And Teflon, that is Gavin Newsom, nothing sticks to him. I mean, it's crazy how you just get these semi-socialist states that just let this go on. It's just crazy.
No, it doesn't work for everybody, and there's so much of a better plan than that. But you're fighting things like that instead of making inroads into making everything better. It's no, we're in a battle for a little more freedom, and it's going okay. But Stevie, it's a every day. You got to fight back. It's a shame. I don't understand why people want to change things to a system that's never worked. And they're passionate about it. So.
And of all the things, Brother Johnny's in New Orleans, Jimmy Goss and Diane are in Philo. I'm in Barbados. I'm happy to come with you for a little bit longer from Barbados, the furthest eastern island in the Lower Antilles. It's a gorgeous day here. I know Champaign-Urbana's getting great weather. New Orleans always has pretty darn good weather. So, but when you're talking about Gavin Newsom and the presidency and all these other things, did anybody see the candlelight vigil the Democrats led by Chuck Schumer were doing on January 6th and how awful I thought we debunked the fact that so much of that was totally set up. Agitators from the FBI, Nancy Pelosi knowingly saying no to the Capitol Police and more enforcement. How are we going with a solemn face? I guess if you don't watch anything but CNN or MSNBC, you don't know better, I guess. I don't know.
Yes. Well, they stick to Russian collusion too, Jim, and all the other stuff. It's part of the whole manifesto of the socialists movement and totalitarian government, which is this is our story and we're sticking to it. And there's no evidence or any sort of, I think that we may have been wrong. And they'll just keep pushing. They're relentless. And it's a very scary thing because you don't want those folks running this country. And Jim, you're right. We have no idea what it really feels like. But we had a little glimpse during COVID about the kind of mandates and edicts. And Tim Walz had people, the National Guard shooting people on their porch with paintball guns. And that we were laughing about it.
Well, and you think about it, some of us pushed back on that, but we could because I didn't fear death. You know what I mean?
Or even jail time, really.
Right.
But you could have been canceled, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that's,
social
trust
media
me.
Canceled.
Trust me, I was canceled. And you know what? Don't give a hoot about it either. I still had my podium and I still scream.
Next.
All right, Jimmy Goss, former Champaign County council member, board. So what is the status of Champaign County? Are we blue forever?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think the university that doesn't go away. I mean, just think about this. When I went to school down here in the 80s, the size of the university was about 30,000-ish, maybe 35. It's pushing 60 today. And there's a good somebody, a student in education, posted and sent it to Fox about the indoctrination that he had to endure in a required class at the University of Illinois. Mm-hmm. I assure you, I've talked, and I won't give up names, I've talked to a bunch of recently graduated students that said they had to hold their nose through the class that was, by the way, in other majors that you had to talk about DEI, all the wokeness that's there. What makes you think it's gonna flip? Because it's now 60,000. They've infiltrated that, and they're getting them out to vote.
But I don't get why they can vote. Why does a bed mean you get a vote when you're registered in Naperville?
Well, ask Mark Sheldon or Gordy Holton. I think it was Mark Sheldon that actually took it to court to get them to not vote. They had to vote at home. They could vote, but they had to vote absentee at home. And I don't know the whole case. It was way before I was paying attention. But we lost. And guess what? They lost in Bloomington Normal. They lost in other cities with schools. I mean, Bloomington Normal's just as bad. They've overturned everything in Bloomington Normal as well. Because you don't have 60,000, you've got 2 universities there, and so
Jim, I think
it's ridiculous.
Yeah, if the students can vote, it's probably going to be blue, and it's not just because of the students are more liberal. It's because it finally breaks into a voting process that's impossible to monitor and really certify. So it's the way you get 50% of the citizens in Champaign Republican and 50% Democrats, but 100% of the contested races go to the Democrats. And I think that's because the students get to vote. And so as long as that goes on. And then the thing is, too, Stevie, once you set up the system, the people who like the system are in charge. And how do you change it? You just can't.
Well, and every student's a Democrat until they get their first paycheck. Let's not forget that.
Listen, that's exactly right. Hey, listen, we got to get to Steve Schudeman here in a couple of minutes. Johnny, I'm looking at a cricket stadium here in Barbados. That's where the ship is docked. It's not far away, maybe half a mile. Did you play cricket when we lived in India?
No, I didn't. I watched them. I still don't know exactly what's going on. But they're definitely getting a ball with some sort of bat. So
it's like a 3-day game. 3 days. Right. It takes forever to play the game. I played a little in Kanpur, and it's called bowling. You're pitching, but you got to do it overhand. You got a wicket thing you have to hit the wood off of, and all these other things. But I mean, it's like 3-day game. It's like we think baseball's too slow. These guys are playing 3 days.
Well, it's like hitting a wiffle ball with a 2x4.
Now, if you're going to do something like that, just play Monopoly. That's another 3-day game, but you don't have to.
Hey, listen, Johnny, thanks for jumping on, and maybe we'll talk Friday. I don't know the schedule here on the cruise and when I'm available, but I'll try and call whenever I am so we can stay up with all this stuff, because so many in Champaign County, I think we're the only voice that really digs into this stuff, and I think it's important.
Well, I'll tell you, though, too, and we'll get Jim back in the saddle, and maybe we shouldn't get him in the governor's office. That's a tough road to host statewide, too, Jim.
Yeah.
The Republican struggle in Illinois.
Oh, yeah. There ain't no
you know
doubt.
what? Hey, this would be the second big Jim we'd have, man. Big
There
Jim
you
Thompson,
go.
Big Jim Goss.
I like it.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Hey,
not going to happen.
listen, Johnny, thanks for the time, and Jimmy, thank you for running in and being with Diane. You're awesome every time you're
All
on,
right,
man.
Diane.
I love it.
Take it from here, Diane.
Hey, you
Keep
got it.
up. We'll
Have a
see you
good one.
soon.
ESPN 93.5 at 7:55. I've got Steve Suderman on the line, and I just need to press this. How are you, Steve?
Hey, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Boy, at Barbados, which, of course, they went to New Year 2 hours before we did, the only time I was there, I climbed Mount Gay, which is that's a place where they make rum. And, Stevie, if you can find your way to get me one of those bottles of Special Reserve that they keep on that island, it's really something. But
I tell you,
it's probably a little warmer there.
Yeah, it's about 83 with a high UV index, but I'm telling you what, if there's one area that I am really, really bad at, it's alcohol, because I don't do much of it, and we're on the ship, we get a few free drinks a day, and we're getting, alcohol-free pina colada. That's how much fun I am.
Right.
Mocktails.
Mocktails, that's what we do. Well, Jim, you got, Steve, you've got all kinds of things post-Christmas and New Year at Good Vibes, locally owned and operated. What do you got for me first of the year here, man?
Well, most of the excitement here has to do with basketball. The women are 13 of 18 already. And we got Rutgers tomorrow, which it should be easy. There's a reason they play the game, so you can't take anything for granted. But we have the wild card weekend coming up, so there's football overload in our near future. And the TV deals are starting to break because of the football. It's not all models. It's just the stuff they have. I would guess that they have lots of. Sony surprised us with the Bravia 8. That's their OLED series. So we like OLED TVs. We have since they were born, 12 or 13 years ago, and talk about them a lot because they just look good. I own 3 of them, so it's from the heart. But all those are on sale now. They're not going to get any cheaper as we go in. Some of the other models probably will. I haven't seen audio deals yet. I think those are going to break on the 19th. But I can tell you Samsung is in there slugging. And they have a new series it's a QLED Series 8. So it's a value price. You can get a 75-inch QLED for $10.99. It's big, it's colorful, it looks good, and it's built well, and it's not expensive at all. The LG have got OLED deals on the 55, but not the 65. I haven't figured this one out yet, but that'll probably come along in a week. And audio to follow, those things are maybe on the 19th. So things like the sound bars and stuff that go with the TVs, those are add-on deals, and they're not. I think all those guys are working on highly tariff stuff that comes from China and other parts of Asia, and so they're really holding it to the vest until they can get ready. But anyway, we do have deals, and we don't have the sunshine you've got. I'm jealous, but the weather here is spectacular, so. We'll take what we get.
Listen, we appreciate Good Vibes going into, 55th year, something like that.
54 and counting.
Wow.
Okay.
That's pretty dang good. And Steve Suderman has never missed a day, baby. 54 years.
Awesome.
Never missed a
I ran out
day.
of fingers and toes counting, too. So
There you go.
Hey, buddy, thanks for jumping on. We appreciate it.
thanks, and I'm jealous of you.
We can set you up with a cruise to get down to Barbados. You'd love it.
Woo! Been there and I liked it. So
Exactly.
enjoy.
Bring back some of that rum.
Thank you so much.
All right.
See you later. Right now,
All right.
37, high 52, kind of cloudy and foggy now. Jim, you're taking off then?
I am taking off. I got to get to
Alrighty.
Melvin, Illinois.
Okay, Melvin, Illinois, and Ford
Jimmy,
County.
thank you, man. Love hearing you, and you're really, really good. And you're that kind of guy we like that speaks his mind, isn't afraid of that opinion. That's huge. So many are.
Happy to do it anytime, Stevie. Love it.
All
right, partner. Thanks so much.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And Stevie, thanks
Happy
for
New
joining
Year.
the show. All the best to your family as you do your cruising. And we've got some best stuff coming up in the 8 o'clock hour. Thanks for listening.
Here's the deal. When you combine State Farm home and auto insurance, you save an average of $889. State Farm agent Kurt Lenschow is ready to help you combine home and auto and save right here in Champaign-Urbana. Call 352-1411 today. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Average annual per household savings based on a 2019 national survey by State Farm of new policyholders who reported savings by switching to State Farm.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
There's a new U.S. military operation related to Venezuela. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. It's happening now at sea in the North Atlantic, where U.S. forces boarded an oil tanker to seize the ship that was recently renamed, given a Russian flag, and was going to get a Russian military escort.
The ship, which was previously used to transport sanctioned Venezuelan oil, has been pursued by the U.S. since last year. It's now northwest of the British Isles. Russia says it is monitoring with concern the situation around the tanker.
Fox's Jonathan Savage. The U.S. had already seized other oil tankers and blown up suspected drug trafficking boats off the Venezuelan coast, leading up to Saturday's operation capturing leader Nicolas Maduro. All members of Congress will get a classified briefing on that mission this morning. The first one is for the Senate an hour from now, then the House. Democrats have been critical of that Venezuela raid. Senator Peter Welch says this is a new American approach.
And that new foreign policy is might makes right. If President Trump wants something and he can use the military to get it, he will.
The president will meet with oil executives Friday after posting on Truth Social that Venezuela is going to send to the U.S. 30 to 50 million barrels of oil that'll be sold at market price. Today marks 1 year since wildfires devastated the Los Angeles area. 31 people were killed. 12,000 homes burned down, including Rachel Darvish's in Pacific Palisades. She's among many who are frustrated, unable to rebuild yet. She tells Fox,
Is it safe yet? Can we go home? What are we breathing? What's in the air? What is insurance covering that? I'm not home yet, but those are the things I'm worried about.
Later this morning in Los Angeles, Nick Reiner will be arraigned on charges he murdered his famous father, actor and movie director Rob Reiner, and his mother in their home last month.
Earlier this week, Reiner was reportedly removed from suicide watch, but is still in solitary confinement at the Twin Towers Correctional Facility in L.A., where he's being held.
That's Tanya J. Powers. America's listening to Fox News.
Welcome to the most wonderful time of the year, when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, scream in terror, and start looking for new ways to save money. If that's you, why not cut your wireless bill in half with a saver plan from Pure Talk? You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super-fast 5G network for just $20 a month. Ho, ho, ho. Just dial pound 250, say micro, and Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team will help you switch in minutes. Again, talk, text, and data for just $20 a month.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The congressional briefings this morning on the Venezuelan operation to capture leader Nicolas Maduro come the day after very different remembrances of the January 6th Capitol riot 5 years later, with Democrats holding candles at a vigil. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries had a message for the rioters who were convicted and then pardoned last year when the president returned to office.
Donald Trump may have pardoned your crimes,
but only God can pardon your sin.
Now, some of those who stormed the Capitol that day retraced their steps yesterday. And President Trump at a gathering of House Republicans focused on his speech back on January 6, 2021, before the riot.
You know that the news never reported the words walk or march peacefully and patriotically to the Capitol. Do you know they never reported it? It's a scandal.
And there's going to be another investigation.
5 years after the events of January 6, the now Republican-led panel tasked with investigating the attack at the Capitol will hold its first hearing next week. Georgia Republican Barry Loudermilk chairs the select subcommittee and tells Politico the list of witnesses is still being ironed out. A January 6 select committee led by Democrats was dissolved after Republicans took control of the House in 2023, as the GOP accused the committee of political bias against President Trump. Democrats have accused Republicans of trying to whitewash history. On Capitol Hill, Ryan Schmelz, Fox News.
President Reagan's oldest son, Michael, has died at the age of 80.
The Presidential Foundation says Michael lived a life shaped by conviction, purpose, and an abiding devotion to President Reagan's ideals, and that Michael used his voice to champion freedom, personal responsibility, and the principles that defined his father's presidency. Reagan was known for his radio talk program, The Michael Reagan Show, and also chaired the Reagan Legacy Foundation. No word on a cause of death.
That's Tom Rigotti. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Urbana police still searching for the suspect who shot a Circle K clerk on Christmas Eve. The suspect wore all black, sunglasses, and a face covering before fleeing in a stolen car. Later recovered by police, the clerk remains in stable condition. Community members across Champaign and Urbana kicked off the new year by distributing food, clothing, and supplies to neighbors in need. One organizer said she relied on the same support, now gives back in honor of her late father's lessons on generosity. Volunteers say demand for assistance has risen this winter, and more community-run events planned throughout January. Champaign area libraries are increasing staff training and public access to Narcan, responding to a rise in statewide overdose emergencies. Initiative includes new signage, staff workshops, and community education sessions designed to make public spaces safer and more prepared for opioid-related incidents. The move aligns with a broader countywide harm reduction strategy. You're locally up to date from the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom. I'm Jim Miller.
Thank you so much, Jim. We have our forecast. It's brought to you by Carl. And they're always looking for great members of the team. In case you're interested, you can go to carl.org/careers. Pressing the right buttons here. Stevie J on vacation. Greg Soulier, how are you in this 2026?
Doing well, Diane. Nice to be back on the radio with you and everyone out there, and pretty easy to take January morning here across the area.
That's right. We've got the milder conditions. In fact, we're teetering around a record for tomorrow, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, ahead of a weather system that'll be coming up at us here. And boy, you usually don't talk about drought relief in the form of rainfall because there's not much frost or freeze to the ground. We think we'll get enough to percolate on in. And we're still looking at those drought monitor maps from the past couple of weeks are still in a kind of a world of herd, extreme dryness and drought still going on. So we'll make amends, but folks still looking and clamoring for winter time. That expected to begin its presence around here, at least with a cool off over the weekend. And a little more pronounced pattern shift begins here later next week. So by no means is this the conclusion to wintertime and or the start to springtime. But it certainly feels that way. 34 at Willett and Savoy, same at Rantoul, 38 at Danville. We've got some pockets of fog and haze. Visibilities are down to about 5/8 of a mile, fractions of a mile around that Willett Airport area. 35 up at the Kankakee right now, 36 at St. Louis. Heading towards an afternoon high today of 52. We will get some sun in here, in at least pokes and peaks of it as we head through the mid to late morning, and a gradual clearing of the skies this afternoon. That 52 is better than 15 above average, holding near 44 tonight with, again, the return of fog and drizzle across the area. And that weather system up via the southern plains will draw an increasingly gusty south wind here tomorrow afternoon and in through tomorrow night. A little patchy fog and drizzle, some rain tomorrow morning in spots, and then the more organization stages of the rainfall get going tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, and wind down on Friday. Half to maybe an inch worth of rain, 58 tomorrow. Some spots will crowd 60 or 62. The record high is 62, set back, I believe, in 1995. Into the 50s tomorrow night. Showers, maybe a thunderstorm early on. And then much cooler Friday. Temperatures will fall from the 50s in the morning to the 40s in the afternoon. That's still above average. Maybe a shower chance early and late. We might see a wet snowflake or two with some mixed rain sprinkles on Saturday. Temperatures in the lower 40s and dropping back to reality on Sunday at 31. But a brief warm-up precedes the next change of cold weather that due in for later next week. Otherwise, Monday, Tuesday, returning into the lower 40s. For CBT Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solgay.
Thanks, Greg. Have a good one. We're at 37 at our studios in Philo. I'm Diane Ducey. Some best of. I've got so many terrific interviews to choose from when it comes to Stevie J in the past. But inside the last month, on December 10th, we visited with Tim Tebow because the All-State Danny Werfel Trophy was going to be given out at the end of the year for some outstanding football players.
Hello.
You ready to go?
I'm ready.
Two-time national champ, Heisman Trophy winner, longtime champion of community service. He is on the phone with me on behalf of All-State to help unveil this year's All-State Werfel Trophy finalists. It's Tim Tebow. Tim, I am a big fan, my friend.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. How are we doing today?
We're doing great. Got Diane Ducey here as well.
How are you doing?
And she was going to do fangirl like you're good looking and things like that.
I know you're a fine-looking gentleman, and I always followed your career. Big fan.
Listen, you married over your head. As good looking as you are, I think you married over your head, Mr. Tebow.
Yeah, Demi Lee.
Oh, yeah. But more than that, she's also just cooler, better dressed, better person, sweeter heart. She's just... I've never really been on too many special teams, but I definitely outkicked my coverage.
There you go.
There you go.
I had in my life, my brother is actually extraordinarily good friends with Danny Werfel, and I took him to the Indianapolis airport once. What a man. Tell me about this All-State Werfel Trophy Finalist Award and what you're doing with this, Tim Tebow.
Well, I love that it's named after Danny. Danny was a hero to me growing up. He was a role model. He was an inspiration. And I love the All-State Werfel Trophy and the 3 finalists this year, incredible young men. But all 22 members of the All-State AFCA Good Works team are incredible young men that are doing amazing work on the field, but just even better work off of the field. And these 3 finalists, Matt Hofer and Michael Taff and Tanner Wall, they're incredible. Like, just what Matt is doing in meals for those that are hungry and being able to give back, and just I believe he logged over 180 hours of community service. It's ridiculous. It's awesome. And then Michael Taff is someone that's incredible. He's just really taken his pain and turned it into purpose. He lost a friend and teammate to a fentanyl overdose, and now he has Taft Tackles, and he's bringing awareness to it, and he's providing money, and he's giving to it, and he's hosting events to make an impact to protect more lives. And Tanner Wall is someone that mentors hundreds of kids, and he's traveled to Kenya and South Pacific on mission trips and all sorts of different things. And it's just it's so important that I think that we honor these young men and what they do, and that's why I'm so grateful to be a part of this award, to honor and celebrate them, because there's so many awards that celebrate what they do on the field, but we also have to celebrate who they are and the difference off of the field, and that's why I'm so excited about it. It's honored to be a part.
Well, it's good of you to do that, but Tim Tebow, you must get asked to help everything. You talk Jesus. You have a faith that is so admirable. Does Tim Tebow think about all the people you inspire?
I just know that I'm a screw-up that gets to know the one who's not, and I want everybody to know how loved and valuable they are, and be able to serve as many as I can, and that's what all these men are doing. And I think it's so important. And so I'm just grateful for the opportunity to, all the opportunities and the platform that sports has given me. But one of the things that I try to remember, and I screw up on it daily, but all of these young men do it really well, is they remember that the game isn't their purpose, it's their platform. And now they get to take their platform and they get to turn it into their purpose.
They get to be like Danny Warfel or Tim Tebow maybe someday. That is awesome. By the way, according to Stevie J's latest rankings, I got you #1 on planet Earth homeschooled athlete. Come on, man. He's a #1. I've checked it. It's right here. It's right #1 on Earth. That's a big deal. He was homeschooled and he turned into Tim Tebow.
Really, Tim? It goes back to your birth. I was just reading on your, Wikipedia search about how that was amazing. Can you touch on how you came into the world?
A miracle.
Yeah, I was just blessed to be a miracle baby. I didn't think I would make it. My mom had amoeba dysentery and even went into a coma and a bunch of different things. And I was just so fortunate that just had a mom that was so courageous and was just blessed to be able to make it. And I was very malnourished, and the placenta wasn't properly attached. Only had a tiny bit that was still attached, and I was very malnourished when I was born, but I tried to make up for it quickly.
Well, your parents raised in missionaries. You were born in the Philippines. They did missionary work. They had to be big people. You're like 6'3", 240. You look like you could play. Hey, they just signed Phillip Rivers. What about Tim Tebow?
Right.
Man? Come on.
No, Phillip Rivers is incredible. He's never going to get old. I think he could probably play at 54. So I'm happy for him. Awesome dude.
But you look like you could still go. And baseball and football, what do you do on your workout? What is the regimen?
I don't know. Looks can be deceiving. I've been hit too many times. So that's and I don't know if everything on Wikipedia is probably true. So
no. But how do you treat people? And this would be a lesson for everybody. We've got like 3 minutes left. How do you treat people like you truly care, which I believe you do? How do you do eye contact, not looking around the room when you're talking to somebody? How do you have that quality?
Well, I think it's by choice, but I also believe it's by what you value. So many times in our society, we use people and we value things versus using things and valuing people. And I think that's the heart of what we're talking about today and the All-State Werfel Trophy. It's the heart of these young men, that we truly value people. And when you value something, you treasure it, you protect it, you care for it, you love it. What you hold is valuable. And if we really value people, then we would treat them that way. And I know I've definitely missed the mark on that, but I want to strive every day to truly value people, because we all need to know our true value and worth, our infinite value and worth.
Well, I'll tell you what, you inspire a lot of people, there's no doubt about it, and you're just a guy you can admire. A guy like this, Tim, you'd never get into politics, would you?
Well, I believe that policies and legislation are really important, and we're on Capitol Hill a lot, working on policies and legislation to protect more kids and more lives, but that is definitely not a goal. I can tell you that. It's a goal to protect more lives, but it's not a goal to live there.
Because I tell you what, I don't know if I've ever had a yard sign in, but I'd put it in for you. But that's no doubt about it. No, you've done so much to inspire, and good work on illuminating the All-State Warfel Trophy finalists. And Danny Warfel, as you know, is just an outstanding guy. In fact, I was in a foursome with Danny Warfel, my brother Johnny, and Mike Ditka playing golf in Florida with all the Georgia and Florida people there. That was a fun day. But Danny's a big-time guy, man. He's big time.
He is. But I got to ask, who won?
We did not, but Coach made a great speech, and everybody was happy. And of course, from the Warfel perspective, Florida won. So that's always good when you beat Georgia. Anyway,
that is always good when you beat Georgia. We just haven't been doing it enough lately.
Well, I happened to find myself with Peter Fox down in Georgia when you were playing Alabama for the SEC. I don't know how I got there, but I was watching that game. I've been a big fan a long time, and I was very excited to talk to you. You have been a great human. Keep it going for another 75 years, would you? And inspire people and do good things and keep talking Jesus, man. You're a strong man and a great example.
Well, thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to talk to y'all today. Thank you for having me. Blessings to y'all.
You as well. Tim Tebow, two-time national champ, Heisman Trophy winner, longtime champion of community service, all about the All-State Warfel Trophy finalists. It's not exaggerating to say that Danny Warfel, for Christmas, his wife gave him a round of golf with Brother Johnny. That was his gift, and he was fired up.
Oh, wow.
Johnny's been part of the Danny Warfel Desire Street Ministries down in inner city New Orleans, and has done a lot of great work. And I did, in fact, drive him to an airport in Indianapolis, and I got Tim Tebow-like guy, and he was Tim's hero. That's Danny Warfel, who hung around in Philo with us for a day.
That's right.
Yeah, he was there. Anyway, good to have Tim Tebow on ESPN 93.5.
And we're getting into our forecast next here on ESPN 93.5. Good to have some best of interviews from Stevie J. And we've got some mentoring that we'll be talking about soon. Our forecast from our meteorologist, Greg Solier, is coming up now. And we've got milder conditions today. A little hazy and foggy right now with the temperature currently at 37. Thanks for taking us along. You can listen to the show anytime at StevieJay.com.
So good, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, Vicinity. Nice to be back on duty. A happy new year to one and all, and nice to enjoy this weather pattern. You betcha, up to 52 today. Those temperatures better than 15, almost 20 above average, with a partly sunny afternoon. Still a bit of cloud and fog activity and a bit of mist and drizzle around for this morning. Light south wind sets in for the afternoon. Clouds roll back in tonight, along with patchy fog and drizzle. Late lows near 40. Tomorrow, breezy and seasonally mild. Cloudy skies, some patchy fog, little rain and drizzle in the morning. Rain overspreads the area tomorrow afternoon. The high about 58, even 60 south of Champaign. That'll be record flirting territory. Windy, mild tomorrow night. Spells of shower activity, even an evening thunderstorm. Gusty south wind and a low down to about 52. Those winds will swing around into the west for the day on Friday, turning much cooler. 54 in the morning and dropping. Partly sunny skies. Maybe a shower early and late. Maybe a couple of showers of rain and wet snow Saturday. Temps in the 30s there. Partly sunny, breezy, colder weather on Sunday. Highs up to about 31. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Thanks, Greg. Our forecast brought to you by Watts Copy Systems, offering efficient solutions for busy offices. If you're interested in a free evaluation with Watts Copy Systems, you can call 217-352-0428. We'll learn about mentoring in the Champaign-Urbana schools coming up inside the next 10 minutes here on ESPN 93.5. If you've thought about being a mentor and giving back to some of our young students in the area, we've got some suggestions for you, so stick around.
I'm Taylor Riggs, and this is the Fox Business Report.
There's a slight turnaround in the job market reported in advance of the monthly employment report from the Labor Department, which comes out on Friday. Payroll processing company ADP is reporting 41,000 new jobs created by private employers in December. It is an improvement from November, though slightly less than expected. Warner Brothers Discovery is telling shareholders to reject the sweetened offer from Paramount. It says the Paramount deal does not include enough compensation to pay for breakup fees if it abandons the merger with Netflix. The Mortgage Bankers Association's average for a 30-year fixed-rate loan declined to 6.25% at the end of last year. Though it's the lowest level in more than a year, mortgage demand dropped over the 2-week holiday period. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Jenny Cosola, invested in you.
From around the world,
Trey Yingst, joining us from Tel Aviv, Israel.
To Washington,
I'm Mike Emanuel.
To your own backyard. If a story impacts you or your wallet, we're on it. It's the Fox News Rundown. We give every story the deeper look it deserves with must-listen interviews and smart analysis from the voices you can trust. Start your day with the Fox News Rundown. Listen and follow now at foxnewsrundown.com or wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
At Dick Van Dyke Appliance World.
Oh, good idea, Paul.
We're going to pump you up
with savings this January, Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, I like it, but that line's already taken. Let's keep it simple. We have stainless steel French door refrigerators starting at $1,600 for the entire month of January.
How about shed those holiday pounds with savings at Dick Van Dyke?
Yeah, but does that really make sense?
Not really.
Let's just shoot straight. We have stainless steel interior dishwashers starting at $450 a pop.
How about we use this music to get the people moving?
Well, hey, copyright violation. That is a good tune, though. But let's not take away from the fact that we have electric and gas dryers starting at $479 and ranges at $549 a piece.
Hey, I got an idea.
Let's hear it.
Come on into Dick Van Dyke Appliance World, where our New Year's sale prices will last longer than your New Year's resolution.
That's actually pretty good and relatable.
Wow.
Dick Van Dyke Appliance World. When you buy from us, you get the whole store.
Kelsey Furniture in downtown Tuscola sells Tempur-Pedic beds. What's it like?
I'm going to tell you right now, Stevie, that thing is the best thing I've ever slept on in my life. My wife and I both have said we've never had better night's sleep. And the people at Kelsey's were fantastic. Brian is the guy that helped us. You know, as much as I did my research, he had a world of knowledge about beds themselves. Oh, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud, man.
Kelsey Furniture, downtown Tuscola.
At Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people with amazing service, great design advice, and unbeatable selection and the best prices in town. It's the perfect time to update your home with waterproof flooring, carpet, hardwood, tile, and more. Then complete your rooms by shopping our incredible selection of furniture and accessories. We also offer great financing options. Carpet Weavers Flooring and Furniture Gallery, we're flooring people.
All right, I use American Woman here in 2026 as my bump music now, since I have some American women, at least I think. Angie Armstrong, how are you this morning?
I'm wonderful.
Awesome. And representing Urbana, Lauren Smith on the Champaign side. Hi, Lauren.
Good morning.
And I know you guys have been here before telling us about CU one-to-one mentoring. And what is the day, Angie?
Today is I Am Mentor Day.
Yay!
Yes.
So it's perfect here on January 7th to be going over what we're looking for. Lauren, how many years have you been doing this?
As of right this week, 21 years.
Wow!
Yeah.
You started when you were 10 or what?
Right, yes.
So at it for a while, and we always have been in need for mentors. Describe what you're doing.
So we have always been in need for mentors. We need community-based adults to come into our schools, meet with a child once a week for about 30 to 40 minutes, and just build that relationship with them. Have fun, be there, support them, ideally follow them for years through high school graduation.
And Angie, I know once you get in this, you feel like at first it could be a little bit of a burden or whatever, a time thing, but you get so much more after giving some of your time.
Oh, absolutely. We do a survey every year at the end of the year, and the mentors always say they feel like they got more out of it than their mentee.
That's right.
Yes.
And you guys make it so easy with CU one-to-one mentoring. I know there are other organizations around town, and they're terrific, but this is actually going into the school, so you don't have to think of, should we go to Dairy Queen? Should we go to the basketball court? What should we do?
Right. It's always at the school, so you don't have to go to a house and pick people up. You're just meeting in the school during the school day, generally over the lunch hour of the student, which is generally the work person's or the mentor's lunch hour too.
Okay, sounds good. What age range are we talking about, Angie Armstrong?
So we're looking at 3rd grade through 7th grade. We place them at an individual school, and every school has a coordinator. So that coordinator at that school is there to support them, give them ideas, help them through any kind of strategies that they might come upon, and just come into the school, hang out in the mentoring room, play games, and then leave and go back to work and come back the next week.
How many schools in Urbana are represented in this program?
Every school.
Oh, wow.
Yep, every school.
Like even high school?
Yep,
No.
high school, yep.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And for you, Lauren?
There's 18 schools in Champaign, and they all have mentor programs at them, yes.
That's terrific because, you mentioned the zone of 3rd through 7th graders, and that's where you're really making a big impact too in those kind of pivotal growth years. I'm sure you've researched all this.
Right. That's when they really can develop that relationship, get to know the mentee gets to know them, but then they follow them through their high school years too. And then they know the student and they have great conversations. They're really there to support the student through their high school years.
Angie, I know there's kids that they don't get what they need as far as the support. I don't know whether the family has some issues or how does one get involved in case, is this something the administration and the teachers are looking at?
It is. So our teachers give referrals. We also have support staff that give referrals. And then the coordinator will go in and observe the student to see if they qualify for our program. Then we do all the parent permission forms and get everything signed. And then we introduce them to their mentors and they start playing games.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, there's some training that kind of goes along with this. Lauren, explain how that works.
So there are trainings. We have 3 in the winter and we have 3 in the fall. We have 3 that are coming up. Thursday, January 29th, 6:30 to 8:30. Wednesday, February 4th, 6:30 to 8:30. And Thursday, February 12th, 11:30 to 1:30. All mentors do need to go through the training. It's a fun training. It's one of Angie and my favorite things to do. It's fairly interactive. And once you go through that and we answer questions you have about mentoring, we give you the basic guidelines, you are set to begin mentoring.
How many numbers are we looking to try to acquire in this recruitment campaign, Angie?
Well, goodness, we would like to have as many as possible.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yes.
And, you know, there's so many kids that are in need.
Yeah, we have waiting lists at almost every school
I
of
see.
kids that want mentors.
Okay. And like you said, it's not, you know, brain surgery or whatever. It's not difficult at all. You're just playing some sorry or shoot some ladders or whatever else to get out of the gate and get to know each other.
Exactly.
And, of course, you're staying confidential with whoever you're meeting with.
Yes, you are. What they tell you is confidential unless it involves something that will affect the mentee's health and safety or the health and safety of somebody else, and then it is reported.
Well, we're getting in the zone here where we need to learn more information. And again, it's just like an hour a week then, or?
An hour a week, and that includes your travel time to and from the school.
Okay.
Yes.
So the training times are on the 29th of January and February 4th from 6:30 to 8:30. Where does that take place? Is that at the school? Or?
That takes place, the first one is at the Mellon Building in Champaign. The February 4th is at Urbana Middle School, and the February 12th is again at the Mellon Building.
And that one's during the lunch hour, 11:30
Right.
to 1:30.
Yes.
Of course, you need to get the process going by visiting what website?
CU121, the number 1, the word 2, 1.org.
Okay. And it's pretty easy, I would assume, just to, you know, click around and fill out something so that you can contact these people.
Yep, it will say application. Go in there, fill out an application, and send it to Lauren and I, and we will get you scheduled for a training.
Awesome. Well, we did good on time, ladies. I hope you get some great people that are listening now on ESPN 93.5 to be a mentor. Again, CU, the number 1, TO, the number 1.org for more information. Angie and Lauren, thank you so much for helping get mentors for kids in our area.
Thank you.
Thank you for
All
having
right,
us.
and Happy New Year.
You too.
ESPN 93.5.
Fox News. Chris Foster. President Trump says the U.S. will take control of 30 to 50 million barrels of Venezuelan oil. Members of Congress get briefings today on the military operation in Venezuela to capture the now former President Maduro and his wife.
This is the briefing that so many lawmakers wanted after the U.S. hit Venezuela on Saturday. Many lawmakers wonder what comes next, first in Venezuela and perhaps in Cuba.
Fox's Chad Pergam at the Capitol. Secretary of State Rubio tells lawmakers President Trump wants to buy, not invade, Greenland.
Following comments by the White House that, quote, the U.S. military is always an option to take over Greenland, leaders from both Denmark and Greenland are rejecting President Trump's renewed calls to make that happen. Denmark's Prime Minister, Mette Frederiksen, has warned that a U.S. takeover of Greenland, a Danish territory, would amount to the end of the NATO military alliance.
That's Tanya J. Powers. America's listening to Fox News.
Here's a look at local news. Community members across Champaign-Urbana kicked off the new year by distributing food, clothing, and supplies to neighbors in need. One organizer said she relied on the same support, now gives back in honor of her late father's lessons on generosity. Volunteers say demand for assistance has risen this winter, and more community-run events planned throughout January. Champaign area libraries are increasing staff training and public access to Narcan, responding to a rise in statewide overdose emergencies. Initiative includes new signage, staff workshops, and community education sessions designed to make public spaces safer and more prepared for opioid-related incidents. The move aligns with a broader countywide harm reduction strategy. Urbana police still searching for the suspect who shot a Circle K clerk on Christmas Eve. The suspect wore all black, sunglasses, and a face covering before fleeing in a stolen car. Later recovered by police, the clerk remains in stable condition. You're locally up to date. From the Stevie J Broadcasting Newsroom, I'm Jim Miller.
All right, we've got our forecast, and it's brought to you by Fisher National Bank. Better banking is more about than just money. It's about people. Fisher National Bank is locally owned community bank serving Champaign and Vermilion counties, and they're your friends and neighbors who take a vested interest in the communities they serve. Last year alone, Fisher National offered over 750 hours of community service with their staff. By investing in the people they serve, Fisher National Bank shares in the success of a stronger community. Learn more about Fisher National Bank at fishernational.com or any of the branches. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC. Greg Soulier's weather forecast. Milder conditions with a high near 60 for today and tomorrow.
So good, everyone. Let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana vicinity. Nice to be back on duty. A happy new year to one and all, and nice to enjoy this weather pattern. You betcha, up to 52 today. Those temperatures better than 15, almost 20 above average with a partly sunny afternoon. Still a bit of cloud and fog activity and a bit of mist and drizzle around for this morning. Light south wind sets in for the afternoon. Clouds roll back in tonight along with patchy fog and drizzle. Late lows near 40. Tomorrow, breezy and seasonally mild. Cloudy skies, some patchy fog, little rain and drizzle in the morning. Rain overspreads the area tomorrow afternoon. The high about 58, even 60 south of Champaign. That'll be record flirting territory. Windy, mild tomorrow night. Spells of shower activity, even an evening thunderstorm. Gusty south wind and a low down to about 52. Those winds will swing around into the west for the day on Friday, turning much cooler. 54 in the morning and dropping. Partly sunny skies. Maybe a shower early and late. Maybe a couple of showers of rain and wet snow Saturday. Temps in the 30s there. Partly sunny, breezy, colder weather on Sunday. Highs up to about 31. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm meteorologist Greg Solier.
Here's what somebody recently said at Pards in Urbana. I was there just a few minutes, and somebody came up and asked if I needed help. And they were incredible, helping me find the size of boot I needed, and then I bought a second pair too. Everything was friendly, everything was excellent. Visit Pards in Urbana, 206 North Maple, between Main and University in Urbana. It's Pards Western Shop since 1968. Or go online and visit pards.com, pards.com.
Our Stevie J Broadcasting team is welcoming the St. Louis Cardinal Caravan on Friday, January 16th to the Hilton Garden Inn at 1501 South Neal Street in Champaign. Doors open at 11 a.m. for this free fan experience that starts at noon. If you'd like to bring money for the raffles to try and win tickets to a game at Busch Stadium and Cardinals swag, you'll be supporting a local charity in the process. Cardinals broadcasters, alumni, and players will all be introduced. Take questions and sign autographs for kids 16 and under. Your home for the St. Louis Cardinals is ESPN 935.
Champaign Center Partnership has creative ideas as downtown, midtown, and campus town continues to shine with community programming, cultural events, and gear up for a great new year with momentum, strategies, and community behind you. Take note now of the first 3-day weekend of the year in 2026 for Small Business Saturday 2.0 coming January 17th. Be sure to shop local and get ready to jumpstart January. ChampaignCenter.com.
Jesse with Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Hey, do you have sewer blockages, problems? Are your toilets gurgling? Why deal with the headache? Call Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions today. We can come out and clean your line, camera it, show you what the problem is, and then we have an expert underground team that can make those repairs. 217-355-5512. We are here for you when you need us. Land's Drain Cleaning and Underground Solutions. Why call anyone else?
Cue the band. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a star. He's the play-by-play voice of the Chicago Bears. His name, Jeff Joniak. You'll hear the ball games every weekend on WQQBQ 96.1. The Chicago Bears football heard right here with Jeff Joniak. How are you, Mr. Joniak? Great having you back on the program.
I appreciate it. How are you guys feeling today?
We're doing fine, man. I was, as you were, stunned. But what happened in that fourth quarter, but it felt differently to me. It felt like this team has a lot more going on. How do you feel about it?
First of all, I wasn't stunned because I'm not stunned with anything in the National Football League. It's a one-score league. 11 of the 16 games came down to a one-score outcome. And fourth quarter is where you live or die. And the Bears did not have a good fourth quarter, so... You know, playing 3 quarters of good football is an incomplete. So you got to play 4 full quarters, and they didn't do that at home. And, I've been known to say this over and over again. I'm sure people get tired of hearing it, but week one is always the great unknown. Certainly when you have a new coaching staff, there's a great unknown element. And then you throw in J.J. McCarthy, the Nazareth Academy high school product in the Chicago area, as an unknown because he had never started an NFL game, certainly never played an NFL game on the road, even in the preseason. So he started slow and then showed his true colors coming on strong late. Great story. Grew up a Bears fan from the time he was 4.5 years old. And he put together a great performance, and it was the NFC Offensive Player of the Week for us. So now you rebound, and you stick in the division with a very difficult challenge going up to Ford Field. Both teams have very, very difficult schedules. In fact, everybody in the division does, so this becomes a paramount game. It almost counts as two, if you ask me, for both of these clubs, the Bears and Lions.
Any advantage for Ben Johnson knowing, obviously, they're the Lions and how they work and everything else, or, the Bears going into a tough setting, certainly, particularly the way the Lions looked the first weekend, but I don't know. I think the Bears can compete in this thing. I think it'd be, as you say, it's a one-score league. Bears have a chance to win in the fourth quarter, maybe?
Hey, listen, they got to win the fourth quarter. You're not getting out of there alive without winning the fourth quarter. You have to. Second half performance is critical. The Bears have played well there. They should have won both games against the Lions last year, if you ask me. And Caleb threw for nearly 600 yards and 5 touchdowns against the Lions last year.
Oh.
So they were in a position to win both of those games and could not do it. They've got to get better in the NFC North. They're not winning enough in the NFC North. If you want to be a playoff team, you got to win the majority of your home games. Say you go 6-2. They got 8 home games this year, 9 road games, I believe. And you gotta go 5-4, 4-5 on the road to have a shot at the playoffs. So in the division, you have to definitely win your home games in the division and squeeze out a couple on the road. So that's kind of the formula for playoff football. Now the Packers, they did it backwards last year. They went 1-5 in the division and still went to the playoffs. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but these road games in the division, as I say, they kind of count as 2 for me.
Is it possible the division got tougher? The Green Bay Packers, to me, look really good. They look really good.
The division got tougher. And every team in the division, they reloaded on the line of scrimmage, which is where the games are won and lost, both sides of the ball. And, some people will say, well, you didn't do enough. Nobody can fill every blank. You just can't. You only have so much ability to secure personnel based on salary cap and draft the collateral. But the Green Bay Packers struck big. They've done this before over the years with Reggie White. They did it with Julius Peppers, and they've had success getting edge rushers of note. Simeon Rice, the former Chicago area guy, U of I, he was added to Tampa Bay right when they were about to win a Super Bowl and helped them push them over the top. So, if you're in a position to do it and you feel you're right there knocking on the door, and the Packers clearly feel they are, kick down the door and add a piece. And they've added a big piece. Yeah. And Jordan Love is looking good.
Yeah, he is. Your impressions of Ben Johnson?
Love him. I'm all in on Ben Johnson. I've been blown away. The staff is fantastic from top to bottom. They got a wide range of experience, and Ben Johnson is everything people told me he'd be. I'd have to learn it for myself, but he's all about being serious, detailed, win. He's not a shy guy about talking about winning and winning now, which not every coach puts their neck out like that, but your team's got to believe this is a team that has to learn how to win. Clearly, there was evidence of that in week 1. They have not figured out how to win, and Ben is going to teach them how to win. But some of these veterans on the team have to take that baton as well. But I love the way he thinks the game, and believe me when I say he was very upset about losing that game. He felt that game was won, and you got to figure out a way to finish, and you got to finish your runs, you got to finish your drives, you got to finish fourth quarters, and you got to finish the job.
I know he has to be, but is Caleb Williams our guy? Is he our long-term guy?
Hey, listen, you go on that assumption right now, but it's got to be proven. Nothing's given. I mean, he's got to earn it, take it, develop, and eliminate some of the things that hamper him at the moment. That's not unlike any other quarterback. I'm never going to anoint a quarterback in year 2, in game 1 of year 2. It's going to take several years. That's how it works. And there are some exceptions to the rule, but even with the instant success of a guy like C.J. Stroud, second year was very difficult. Last night, Jaden Daniels didn't look very good. So, once you start, there's injury concerns on your roster and things don't go exactly the same way. There is a lot to learn about this offense. People look at me sideways when I talk about Jake Cutler. Jake Cutler had a lot of talent, and he had some good moments. But it took 3 years. He says it always took 3 years to try to learn a system. But if you're changing coordinators every year, you're learning new languages every year, and that's not good. That's not going to promote growth. Ben Johnson's going to be here a while. His staff is going to be here a while. So that portends well for this quarterback.
You just want it to go fast, right? I mean, it's just...
yeah, we all want it, but it's not realistic.
It's process. You do have to do the process. But we're hopeful. I saw a lot of things I liked. I just kept looking at the screen, seeing 17-6, and it felt like we should have been ahead more. But you know what? You learn, you move on. I think they're going to compete nicely this weekend. It'd be a huge deal to go up there and win, though.
Yeah, it would. It's a very difficult place to play. I used to hate going there. Ford Field was basically an empty warehouse. Not a lot of fans. Even the suites had all their lights off because nobody was buying suites. Wow. Now, the place, you need to bring your earplugs. It is a rocking and rolling environment, which I thrive as a play-by-play guy. I want the place to be rocking. I feed off of that energy. I love Seattle for that very reason. I love Minnesota for that reason. These stadiums are hellholes for the opposition, and this is no different. So the Bears are going to have to run the ball to take the starch out of the crowd. They're going to have some sustained drives that end in touchdowns, and they got to play some really, really aggressive defense because Jared Goff, with time to throw, will get the ball to his weapons, and their weapons are fast. On that surface, Jamison Williams had 4 50-plus yard catches last year. He's a problem. Jahmyr Gibbs is a problem if you get him out in space. So they're going to have to really, Amon-Ra St. Brown is a problem.
Right now, the Lions are favored by 5.5 with our Circus Sports, so we'll see what happens.
Well,
all right. Well,
you sound...
that's why we love the game. You see what happens. I don't want to... Hey, listen. I want it to be like Christmas. Let me see what the morning brings, and let me open up my presents. See what I got under the tree.
You've been doing this a minute. How many years with the Bears?
29 overall, and my 25th as the voice of the Bears.
Well, good news.
Very blessed, honored, humbled.
You sound very young, and that's great. That's a great attribute. It really is. So yes,
well,
you can do this till you're 90. You can do it till you're 90, Jeff. So.
No, I don't want to do it that long, but I do want to do it for a long time.
Let's see if we can get another Super Bowl someday. That'd be awesome. One of these years.
Sooner rather than later.
You bet. Jeff Joniak.
Always of the essence.
Thanks for jumping on.
Appreciate it. Take care.
You bet. Jeff Joniak, the voice of the Chicago Bears. You'll hear him on WQQBQ 96. That's every Chicago Bear game.
Great to have him as a guest, Stevie J, here on ESPN 93.5.
Thank you to our friend Rob Stone for lining that up.
So I'm doing some best of as Stevie's on vacation, but boy, it's interesting to hear earlier on in the season and where we are now. Talk about the fourth quarter Bears. Bears-Packers coming up Saturday at 7. Of course, I recommend watching the game with other fans at Pia's, 1609 West Springfield Avenue. They also have that Illini shuttle to all the home games, in which we're playing Rutgers tomorrow with a 7:30 tip-off. And so by 6:50, they'll be loading up the bus. It's a half hour before tip-off that they take off, drop you off in the Circle Drive, and then on the way home, it's 10 minutes after the final buzzer. If not, when people are loaded up in the bus, sometimes they'll go early if everybody's ready. As we say, go Illini here on ESPN 93.5. But again, it's certainly been an interesting season for those Chicago Bears. Great to have that interview with Stevie J and Jeff Joniak here on ESPN 93.5. I wanted to talk a little football about some of our Illini football players. Of course, very happy about them. And 8 members of the University of Illinois football program were honored yesterday as the College Sports Communicators 2025 All Academic District Performers. The CSC Academic All-American program recognizes the nation's top student athletes for their combined performance on the field and in the classroom. And to be eligible for the Academic All-District, a student athlete must be at least a sophomore with a minimum 3.5 cumulative grade point average, while also competing in 90% of the team's total games or starting at least 66% of the team's contests. So all 8 honorees move on to the ballot for the CSC's Academic All-American team to be announced on January 27th. So in its history, our Fighting Illini program has had 37 Academic All-American honors by 26 student athletes dating back to the program's inaugural selections in 1952. So way to go, Tanner Arkin and Tanner Heckel, Kenena Odeluga and Miles Scott, Josh Geske, Caden Fagan, Colin Dixon, Hank Beatty, all on this list. As we say, go Illini. When it comes to our women, we're doing some basketball action tonight against number 19, Ohio State. I guess I'm kind of getting into sports, so I might as well get my background here. I'm Diane Ducey here on ESPN 93.5. But yeah, the Illinois women with a tip-off at the State Farm Center at 6 o'clock for their third straight ranked game. Let's go and beat number 19 Ohio State. Would be great to beat down the Buckeyes. Go Illini women. Shauna Green's doing a great job as the head coach leading our team. In Big Ten action yesterday, number 2 Michigan beat Penn State, but it was close. 74-72. Minnesota over number 19 Iowa, 70-67 in an upset. And Wisconsin beat UCLA 80-72. We also had NBA action with Cleveland taking down Indiana's Pacers 120-116 for the Pacers' 13th consecutive loss. Ouch. They're 6-31 on the season. When it comes to the semifinals for the college football playoffs, we're looking forward to the Oregon-Indiana game on Friday. I think Davison is ruled out. Is there some kind of broken clavicle or something that someone reported in Oregon? So we're watching that too here on ESPN 93.5. I'm Diane Ducey. If you ever want to text in, it's 217-359-2255. Of course, an opportunity to win some tickets if you'd like to go to the Illinois-Rutgers game tomorrow with that 7:30 tip-off. You can text in Illini 217-359-2255. It's a call, and you can just text in Illini to try to win from Parlor Donuts there in the old farm shops at Kirby and Mattis. Delicious drinks, energy drinks, coffee, tea, some layered donuts that are delicious. Even the kind of a donut hole, they have the mini donuts that are filled. Oh, so good. I bought a bunch of those when some church ladies and I, the Catholic Charities, is having a big bingo night at the Oaks Lodge on February 7th. So we needed to get all the details underway to launch that. So it was fun to meet there, and I highly suggest that if you want to meet someone at a place that's kind of quiet where you can get a lot of things done. Parlor Donuts is a good fit. Plus, the lunch special is something I enjoy at Jet's Pizza with 2 locations off of Neal and Green near Campustown, and also over by Round Barn off Mattis and Springfield in Champaign. It's Jet's Pizza. All right, 8:51, we've got our forecast coming up. The Cardinal Caravan is on the horizon on Friday the 16th.
The Cardinals Caravan, presented by Missouri Farm Bureau Insurance, is rolling into Champaign on Friday, January 16th. This free event gets fans up close with current players, alumni, and broadcasters. Plus, we have great raffle prizes and autographs for the kids. Fans 16 and older will receive 2 free tickets to catch a game at Busch Stadium. For full details, visit cardinals.com/caravan.
Join our Stevie J broadcast team Friday, January 16th with doors opening at 11 a.m. at Hilton Garden Inn, 1501 South Neal Street in Champaign.
Our forecast is brought to you by Busey, and as you file your tax return, Busey wants to remind you to be aware of identity thieves who could be scheming to steal your refund. There's a tax identity theft awareness slot that you can find on their website at Busey.com if you need more details. Of course, when it comes to your taxes filing early, criminals will have less time to use your information for a fake return. Secure your Wi-Fi connection, shred sensitive documents, lock away secure documents, secure your tax return by mailing it at the post office instead of at the mailbox at your home. Monitor your mail. If your employer mailed your W-2 or other documents and financial information, make sure that you get it and avoid any scammer schemes. The IRS will never contact you by email, text, or social media if they need their information. They will always contact you by mail. So these are some of the warning signs that you can take note of as we prepare in this first month of the year. Busey wants you to be informed of any security issues, scams, or alerts that may compromise your personal or financial information. You can visit the Information Security Center at Busey.com or call 1-800-67-BUSEY or visit a location near you. Member FDIC. All right, that forecast milder for the next few days.
Logan, everyone, let's check weather. Free Central Illinois, Champaign, Urbana, and vicinity. Nice to be back on duty. A happy new year. And boy, nice reversal in weather here that lasts for the next several days with that early and often start to the wintertime season back a few weeks ago. Anything but a winter-like feel for the day-to-day. Clouds and some fog and mist and drizzle around for this morning. A partly sunny afternoon. A bit of a south-southwesterly breeze up to 52. Clouds roll back in tonight along with areas of fog and drizzle late low down to about 40. For the day tomorrow, breezy and seasonally mild. Cloudy skies and patchy fog, a bit of rain and drizzle in the morning. Rain overspreads the area in the afternoon. A high tomorrow about 58, even 60 south of Champaign. That will be a record on a gusty southeast to south wind. Tomorrow night, windy and seasonally mild with spells of showers, maybe an early evening thunderstorm, low down to 52. For the day on Friday, cloudy, much cooler air moves on in, 54 in the morning and falling temperatures. Partly sunny skies and a shower chance early and late. Maybe a little rain, snow shower activity Saturday. Temperatures in the 30s. Back to more seasonal temperatures Sunday with lower 30s. For Stevie J Broadcasting, I'm Meteorologist Greg Solgay.
I want to brag a little bit about my friend Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group with eXp Realty. I hope his team had a great holiday season and has come into 2026 gangbusters here. When you're ready to sell your home, be sure to reach out to our friend Nate Evans of the Nate Evans Group. Not just listing your home, but providing you with customized and personalized experience to really get your home sold quickly and for the most money possible. A friend you can trust. Call the only agent I would call if I needed to sell my home. It's Nate Evans at 217-239-7113. You can do an online search to Nate Evans Group. Maybe check out that secret list of homes that will soon be on the market. Now, when I first got to know Nate, we talked about his construction jobs back in the day and how he actually kind of fell off a roof and had a hospital stay. And oh my goodness, when he was laying there in that hospital bed, he's thinking, I need to kind of think about my future here and what am I doing? Well, and that's what makes him so connected with a lot of the top builders in the region too, some of them exclusively. So he has knowledge of new developments going up before other buyers are aware of them, new construction homes before they hit the market, in a variety of price points and neighborhoods too. If you're thinking it's time here in 2026 to get a new chapter going and you want to start the process, you can just simply visit the NateEvansGroup.com and hit that home estimate button and you can see what kind of options you have. So it's pretty cool to get the process started at NateEvansGroup.com and start packing.
Sell your home with Nate. Pick the price, pick the day. Go to the NateEvansGroup.com.
See You at Home is proud to announce the return of One Winter Night, taking place on Friday, February 6th in downtown Champaign. This annual fundraiser and community awareness event has brought people together for over a decade to shine a light on homelessness and raise funds for housing, support services, and long-term stability. On One Winter Night, outdoor participants commit to spending the night outside in the attempt to understand the challenges faced by those without stable housing. Volunteers and sponsors step up now. Visit seeyouathome.us.
Ever wonder why you pay your bank to have a checking account? Fisher National Bank does too. You see, they offer free rewards cashback checking that gives you cash back on debit purchases, no service fees or balance requirements. Simply make 12 debit card purchases, receive electronic statements, and have one direct deposit in a monthly cycle. It's so simple. Reward yourself today with rewards cashback checking. Learn more at any branch or FisherNational.com. Fisher National Bank. Exceptional communities, exceptional people. Member FDIC.
The St. Joseph Ogden FFA auction will be held on Saturday, February 7th. Doors open at 4:30 at the high school. With the dinner and silent auction starting at 5 and live auction starting at 6, no tickets are needed. Everyone in the community is welcome.
Our auction includes a full selection of live and silent auction items, giving everyone plenty of opportunities to participate and support the event. Whether you're looking for tools, gift baskets, local gift certificates, or one-of-a-kind items, you'll find a wide variety of choices that make the evening fun for all ages.
The funds we raise directly support valuable leadership opportunities for our members, including participation in state and national FFA conventions, providing supervised agricultural experience grants, and offering college scholarships.
This auction isn't just an important fundraiser for our chapter. It's also a great chance to come together and enjoy an evening with our community. For more auction details, visit our Facebook page, St. Joseph Ogden FFA. We appreciate your support, and we look forward to seeing you on Saturday, February 7th.
Such great kids. In fact, towards the break, we had them in studio, obviously. They did that commercial for SJOFFA, and that event on February 7th, that dinner and auction is really free because you're going to be bidding on hundreds of items. I always like the massage and the spa packages that they get, and so many terrific businesses in St. Joseph Ogden community that are contributing to that. So, and I saw Henry at the one of the basketball games over the weekend or week that we were off. So really fun people to associate with. I'm Diane Ducey. It was fun to be the MC actually in SJO's Santa run that they had, I think December 13th or something on that break. It seems like forever since I've had a chance to visit with you since we've had a break here at Stevie J Broadcasting. And Stevie J had checked in earlier in the show from Barbados as he takes a cruise with his family. A well-deserved break. Boy, did he need that. I'm glad he's able to relax and unwind. He said the temperature was at 83 today. So once again, if you want to listen to the show at any time, it's at steviejay.com. We've had some terrific guests, and Angie Armstrong and Lauren Smith about CU 1-to-1 doing their mentoring. Enjoy your day, and thanks for listening. ESPN 93.5.
BMW, Buick, GMC, Honda, and Subaru. Welcome to Sarah Champagne. We can handle all your car repairs on site, including paintless dent repair, bumpers, windshields, everything in between. We have an amazing selection of new or pre-owned vehicles to choose from. Shop from home and buy online or reserve your vehicle before it hits our website or dealership. Sarah Champagne is home of the Sarah One Price Promise, delivering an honest and transparent buying experience. Hurry in or shop online at sarahchampagne.com.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana.